Hello, hello. Hey, guess what I didn't do, guys? I didn't put you guys
Fix
in
the
the right
overlays.
order. I fixed the overlays. This is. It's been a long time since I haven't had everybody in the right places when we start. I'm ashamed of myself, but we're here. We're live with the Hellbreaker Sequence. This is episode 2 of the Hellbreaker Sequence, and I'm excited to do some breaking of hell, and some sequencing, whatever those terms are being used to mean in this context. So, when we last left the Hellbreaker sequence, we had just followed Iseret and Harahel, Connor and Carly's characters from their respective factions, and they had done some stuff. I know that there's one thing we need to do in the faction move or the zooming out before we go back into zoom in. So maybe let's just start with that, and then we can transition into zooming in somewhere again. Carly, the Forgotten Heralds, we're going to try to do some research
Yes.
on the Tannerin because Harahel had gathered up some information on what in the heck these things were during the course of hanging out with Iseret, and now she's gonna go back to her family with that information, and they're gonna make a roll to figure out what is going on. So it's a family move. If you look in the handouts, and it's uncover secrets is the role is the move you're gonna be doing. So you roll. So when you gather your family's specialists in council, roll plus data spent. On a hit, you ask one question. On a 10 plus, ask a second question or add to the map one of blank. So you have one data. The Forgotten Heralds currently have one data from Harahel's efforts. But so you want to spend that one data?
Sure.
Yeah, so you're rolling 2d6 plus 1. We'll see how much information they uncover. All right, 8. So on a hit, ask one. So you just get to ask one of these questions from the list in the handouts of uncover secrets. It said family moves. And you can't just ask the question, "What's the truth behind the Tannerin?" Because
Yeah,
that
obviously.
it's a
Trying to think
bigger
of more
bigger thing
specific
going on there.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to remember what exactly I was going to try to figure out.
Well, I know one thing that got figured out from the recollection.
Because I know I figured out that it was something bad,
Yep.
and that's all I remember.
You figured out it was something bad. Harahel's figured out that it was parasitic on Iseret.
Right.
But also that Iseret could use it to power her own abilities. It's kind of like a symbiotic relationship that way. And you failed the second roll you made to try to figure out some things. So the Tannerin have marked you, and they're watching you.
I want to say, what's the truth behind how Iseret got her friend?
Aha. Okay.
Because that'll tell me like how and why it latched onto her.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Connor, that's a question for you.
How did my friend latch onto me?
Yeah. How did that actually happen? Let's actually see
Well, I don't
that
know.
scene now. Well, let's figure it out between the two of us, right? Like, what do you think? We know you went to the dark dimension.
Yep.
Which we're gonna do a couple other housekeeping things. One of the things will be naming whatever the dark dimension is, because saying just the dark dimension is just kind of lame.
But no.
Josh, you should be thinking real quick. Actually, yeah, you should be thinking about what to name the dark dimension. The music. You could just call it the music, but and or the like main Tannerin guy that you like serve, whoever like the leader of them is. Just be thinking about that. That was some of the housekeeping things I had in my notes. What am I looking up here? Oh yeah. So yeah, we know you went to that place. We know you were kidnapped. How did you get there?
I don't know. We never decided any of these things.
Right. And this is basically what this is. Harahel is like talking to his family about what actually happened, right? And using her knowledge that she gained by, or his knowledge that he gained by watching you in the Tannerin, to basically go in council with Forgotten Heralds and figure out what this danger is. And so the question was, what is the actual truth behind what happened to make the Tannerin latch onto you? What is that? What is that truth? Right? We know, were you, I guess first step is, were you kidnapped, or did you like stumble upon it, or did you go there intentionally?
How does one go there?
Well, you can become part of the New Harmony and get warlock powers and travel there.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there's probably what it is there's some sort of song that you sing or art that you perform that's tied with whatever ritual involves teleporting there. So it's entirely possible you stumbled upon either a member of the New Harmony that like accidentally took you there, or just whatever thing, or whether it be art form, technology, rift in space that led you there. Because I know there are 2 locations on the map that we need to put for wherever the locations that are like bleeding in from the other reality. So it could have been one of those.
How about that's where I got the socks from?
Oh yeah, the gangster that you attacked, you got into a scuffle with, and stole his like his animation sleeves. Yeah, he could have been involved in New Harmony stuff.
Wait, socks? Was there a story behind that?
Oh, you didn't get very far in the episode,
I didn't get very far. All I heard was I have socks.
I have socks that can animate things, and then I can ride them.
Yeah, so basically
as a mount.
She put these, like, they're called animation sleeves officially, but Easter calls them socks.
Yeah.
And
well, it's because what they are.
Yeah. Sure, Connor. And she can use them, to animate inanimate things into, like, mounts, basically. And other useful servants. So she basically, like, put 2 socks on some sort of rock formation, and it turned into a little rock golem that could carry her around.
So let's say there was this New Harmony involved punk who was like, scaring some kids or something like that. And I was like, hey, pick on someone your own size. And then stole his animation sleeves, and he like was trying to get them back or whatever, and sent me to the dark dimension.
Okay, yeah.
But I like brought him with me, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you were both just transported there accidentally or something. Yeah.
Okay.
And
then while I was there, then the Tannerin probably killed him.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because I think this is probably a recollection guy who was tampering with the New Harmony powers and didn't really know what he was doing, and then just misused them, and the Tannerin were like, yeah, you're not our Eldritch servant, we're just gonna kill you. You don't know what you're doing, sort of a thing. Okay, yeah, and then why didn't you get killed by the Tannerin?
I think there was some sort of like primal nature in me that came out while I was like being attacked by the guy. So like we went there into the dark dimension and he was like still trying to come after me. He was like, "You punk, like you got us into this. We're gonna die here," and whatever. And in my like fear of defending myself between fight or flight, I chose fight. And like was like, okay, I'm gonna take this guy down and like kill him. And so there's just this primal urge in me to be like, all right, I gotta kill this guy because he's gonna kill me. And because of that, the Tannerin like were like, she's a lot like us. They found a kindredness between us because
saw to the depths of your depravity.
Exactly. And so and then the little baby latched on to me because maybe that's how the Tannerin like parent is like the babies will like spiritually like link themselves with the adult Tannerin.
Yeah.
And so the younger Tannerin thought I was an adult Tannerin.
Oh yeah, perfect.
And linked to me. And then Harahel came and saved me. So, which means that this is really, 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 really bad because this is the apocalypse all over again. Because now, once the truth gets out that you just have to murder people in order to, like, tame the Tannerin, it's bad.
I mean, it must be a pretty convenient situation, though, that you have to be around a baby Tannerin, and you can't see them, so...
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so I'm curious. So that's the reason that Harahel showed up, because he's summoned by threats to that which is holy, right?
Yeah,
and so obviously,
obviously,
bonding to a Tannerin is the threat to that which is holy. Okay, yeah. So you understand that Harahel and the Forgotten Heralds as a whole understand that now that is the threat that to which is holy is. If other people figured out how to do this, it could be bad. Very, very bad.
I like the idea of, like, I get summoned to wherever place there's a threat to something that's holy, but I don't understand
what it was. Yeah.
Situation. I just, like, appear in that place and I'm like, oh, guess I gotta do something here.
Man, how hard would it be to function as a group of people where at any moment you could just be whisked away to stop some injustice somewhere, not even knowing what the injustice was?
I want to say they don't just get, like, automatically teleported.
You can choose to go at...
They can choose
feel
to
a tug.
accept the task.
Yeah, you feel a tug, and you don't know what it is, but you know there is a threat to something that's holy. So maybe what it is there's like... So question, do individual heralds get individual tugs, or does the group as a whole get a tug, and then they decide who to send?
I feel like it'd be really cool if the group as a whole did, but they all know if someone else has already gone to answer it.
Right, so maybe they just choose, like, people could just be on call, right?
Yeah, right, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Hold up. My injustice sense is tingling.
Exactly. The more I'm learning and thinking about the Forgotten Heralds, the more they seem like Khandra to me.
A little bit, yeah.
Because I imagine there's probably older ones that like don't go out on calls very much, and they're like the first, second, third generations, right? Like, and the kind of younger, more foolish, maybe still more hopeful ones that like think they can still like save something from this world are the ones who still go to calls. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm definitely getting... So far in the game, we're getting a lot of like young-old dichotomies. For some reason, there's been a lot of like young hopefulness versus old cynicism that's been kind of played, and old like tradition versus young like idealisticness. Yeah, interesting.
I can't wait to take that and do one of those.
Perfect. Yeah. Peyton in chat said, "Not gonna lie, Connor's character is my favorite so far." Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, so that is something that Forgotten Heralds know about the Tannerin. So it looks like we have some names that have been
We
chosen.
do.
You want to tell us about those?
So the sound, the music that is heard, the promotion of chaos.
Yeah.
I'm going to call that the Discordia Universalis,
Yeah.
playing off of the. I'm literally wholeheartedly shameless. I have no shame, and so I'm going to rip off the term Musica Universalis and
Yeah.
just flip it on its head. It's the music of the spheres, but the discord of the spheres.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the world of darkness or shadow is the Cosmoskion,
Perfect.
because the Discordia Universalis might be a good counterpoint to whatever it is that the Forgotten Heralds.
Yeah, that's actually one thing I've
Right.
been on my website. I've been getting together kind of like some blurbs on the factions and stuff like that, like for the Hellbreaker sequence. And one of the things I really kind of had to dig into was specifically, the heralds and the recollection. They also like are kind of musically oriented in some of the stuff that they do, but obviously it's different from yours. And so there's probably a good original music that you can tap into, and then there's this discord that is now entered. That is the kind of bad music. Yeah.
And so we go with the Latin roots for that faction, and this is kind of the opposite, versus Cosmoskion, which is Cosmos and Skios.
Yeah.
Greek. Smash the two together for darkness and world, because
Yeah.
it is much more the realm of the new harmony.
Yeah. And one of the cool things, as I was kind of going through those blurbs as well, I was like, you know what? We probably need to have like a name for what the apocalypse is considered among the people. And I'm just going to posit this name to you guys. The one I came up with was the shadowing. Right? Like the apocalypse is considered the shadowing, which I think perfectly fits the whole fact that the apocalypse ushered in the world of shadow, right? It ushered in this discord and darkness. And so people refer to it as the shadowing. Yeah. Okay, so another thing that needs to be done here. Oh, hi, Athena. What are you doing? Is I'm going to drag you guys to the map. Josh, you need to decide where your portals to the Cosmoskion are. Cosmoskion, thank you. Cosmoskion, the world of shadow, is where they are in the map. Let's see. What do you have to put on there? You chose a bazaar and corrupted gardens.
Right.
Where do you want those?
So did we specify the place where did we specify the place where the David's faction, the Perihelion, did we specify the place where the Perihelion made a mess of everything? As a first pass test?
Yeah. The ring of perfect weather surrounded by deadly storms. It's right here. Wait.
Is it off the map?
There.
Oh, it is off the map. Okay.
Yeah, so actually I forgot to mention this first episode, but the parts that are dark is considered the wasteland. Basically, it's like unexplored territory that everyone considers dangerous and it's difficult to go through. The other stuff is generally mostly okay to travel through. You're still probably dangers, as is obvious by all of the things that are on the map. But it's considered people actually are settled here as opposed to outside the wasteland. The only people who are settled there are bandits and whatever else, weird things.
Sure. Well, there's this nifty little kind of promontory here.
Okay.
Of wasteland that seems to stretch in with no particular answer other than that it's an incredibly dangerous, creepy portal to Cosmoskion.
Uh-huh. Which one is there? The Bazaar or the Corrupted Gardens?
We're going to put a Corrupted Gardens
I was
in here.
hoping you would say that.
Because it's right next to the hot bath.
Exactly. Yep, perfect. Great minds think alike. I'm into it. All right, let me go ahead and place some weird corrupted garden landscape, and you guys will see it as soon as I finish taking it off the GM layer.
Are all the GM layer things visible on the Twitch stream?
They are, yes.
Good to know. I won't watch the VODs
Yes.
I'll listen.
Yeah.
because I don't want to spoil for myself the locations of the hidden things.
Yep. Don't do that. Okay, cool. So I'll take these to the map layer now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Weird. Crap.
Yep, that's a good way of summing it up.
There we go. Yeah, creepy purple garden things. What is that called? One thing we're going to be doing as we go to some of these places is actually like naming them. Is there any particular name that they call these gardens?
Trying to think of something that's not. Call 'em Paradise Lost.
Yes.
We're playing around with apocalyptic imagery and
Nice.
And what's interesting is
everything's
this is not,
so poetic anyway.
Yeah, this is not. It was once paradise and then we lost it. This is the paradise is lost, right? The paradise is sinful. The paradise is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. And then where is the bazaar?
The bazaar. Whoa, that was trippy.
Yep.
Did anybody else see the map move?
Yeah, I that was accidental.
Okay. I'm not going crazy. All I've got here is tomato soup. Hold on 1 second. Okay, we need a bazaar still, huh?
Yep.
Let's go ahead. We're gonna kind of tuck that in right. Well, would it make sense to put it in the wasteland
It
as
would,
a sort of?
but I mean, yeah, if you put it right there, it would be people would probably stumble upon it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But
Versus putting it like out here on the edge of the wasteland is kind of a bridge of sorts between civilization and those who live out on the roughs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I might put it out here instead.
Yeah. That makes
Is that-
sense.
Is my mental picture is already someplace that's kind of infrequented except for the people who know that it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And almost everybody has a purpose for being there, but it's, unknown and questionable.
Yeah. Cool. Is there any? So this is like literally some sort of weird, like market for Tannerin, or at the very least the people who serve the Tannerin. What is it called? Bazaar.
I kind of want to give it some kind of. I want to give it some kind of innocuous name. Something that would, you hear it and you go, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think too hard about it unless you specifically know what you're listening for. But I'm not good at subtlety right now. I haven't had a week to think about it. So let's go with the Sunset Market.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Perfect. And as we go to other various
actually-
places on the map, yeah,
Let's move Sunset Market a little bit over here,
got it.
closer to the azimuth.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and as we go to the other places on this map, we'll name them as well. but we don't need to like mass name everything right now. So, the other names we know about Nadir, which is the city that exists below Azimuth, the great construct sun in the sky. Those are the main 2 places that we know of that are named right now. Okay, let me double check my notes and see if there's any other housekeeping stuff that needs to be done. Otherwise, we'll pick somewhere to zoom in, and we'll zoom in. Notes. Already named those. Already did that. Oh, yes. The other thing I need to do for your benefit, Josh, is describe what the book describes having surpluses and needs for the particular things that you have surpluses and needs for, what that actually means, like narratively and mechanically. So your surpluses are leadership and spies. Remind us what your leadership is, how your family governed.
So the New Harmony is governance. I'm trying to remember exactly because I don't have the exact document in front of me, and I don't remember where I put it. I think it's in Google Drive. Give me a minute.
I can also
Hashtag not sponsored.
Family playbook as well. Looks like you said monstrous servants are the things that govern you.
Yes. Yeah, here we go.
Whereas your family, I believe, is the regular rank and file are Twisted Bloodline. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yep. That's your doctrine for this era. Yep.
I'm sorry, I did not pull up all of my documents ahead of time, so I am
you're fine.
doing that now. Yes. So Twisted Bloodline is the main family, and monstrous servants are the leadership.
Yeah. And so basically, however your family is governed, in this case, they're governed by monstrous servants, it's working well. They may have a charismatic leader who commands loyalty, a smooth and efficient bureaucracy, or a culture of respect and understanding. What is it exactly about the governance of the monstrous servants that makes it work well?
Fear.
Yeah, everyone's just afraid.
There is fear and worship is what drives the underlings to follow their masters.
Yeah.
There is a desire to become a master someday. Kind of a twisted anti-version of Ascension from David's faction, but pretty much standard cult hierarchy, but you just draw a hard line, and above that they're monsters.
Yeah, I love
the
way
the question. There's always that question of, okay, how does one can one cross the line? How does that work?
Yeah, I love how your family is basically, they take bits and pieces from all of the other families and then turn them on their heads, right? The weird, like the kind of deific kind of stuff from David's, the like music of the heralds, the art of the recollection, and I don't know what you'd steal from the Last Watch or the Hellbreakers, but definitely weird.
We just take the leavings of the Hellbreakers and the Last Watch, those that even they don't want. Come into our fold.
Exactly. Cool. So you also have spies as a surplus, which means your agents across the homeland send you details on the movements of factions and the dangers of the wasteland. You know more about your foes and friends than they can imagine. Your needs, you need luxury, which means life is harsh and uncomfortable. Tempers are frayed, stress is high, then it's difficult to imagine that tomorrow will be any better than yesterday. You need prestige. Your family are pariahs, disdained, or beneath others' notice. Your citizens get more done when they hide their affiliation, and though others will respect bargains and obligations, they'll do so grudgingly. So you guys are pariahs right now, which makes sense. And you also need rare materials. Your family is feeling the lack of something hard to find. Nutrients for their algae tanks, components of an engine or computer, chemicals to fix dyes and leathers. What is the specific weird rare material that you need that you're lacking? Like, is it some sort of arcane thing? Like,
I almost said something really dark. I'm not going to
mean,
go that far.
Okay. Proper sacrifices.
Somewhere in that neighborhood was where my brain went first, but I'm not going there this
No.
time. I think they're looking for precision machined ritual foci.
Okay.
So sculptures of impossible geometry,
Yeah.
mainly little sculptures of impossible geometry through which they focus their rituals.
Yeah. So basically, you just have like weird like little foci and stuff that you need for various like spells and rituals and stuff. Okay. Lit. All right. Cool. Well, yeah. Keep that in mind. I'm gonna post all of those descriptions in chat for you. It's not the most elegant way to do it, but there you go. Yeah, so you have those to reference if you need them to get a better feel for like what is actually kind of happening in your family. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom in, shall we? Let's zoom in on a place. When you focus on critical scenes where a handful of people might change the course of history over hours or days, say where you are on the map, and so on and so forth. So we just kind of finished with some faction stuff, but we started in media res, kind of zooming in first session, and I want to do the same thing here for Josh, to get a feel for his faction and his character. Are you guys fine with doing that, focusing on Josh's character?
Yeah.
And doing, because he had a direct thing. The first idea I had written down for the start of the campaign was doing the weird like upholstery tapestry thing that with the strange geometry that needs to be gotten, and you need a sacrifice to get it. Explore that whole thing that was going on with your character as a starting point to find maybe a rare material, right? Like that could be probably a piece of getting a new surplus or erasing a need or some other thing that your faction would want to do. And we can zoom in and start there. Now, I guess the question would be, if you guys are fine with that, do either of you want to play your main family character? Would it make sense in any way to do so? Or are we doing quick characters?
I don't know. I mean, I'm fine with focusing on his character, but
Is there any reason Easterette or Harahel would be around the New Harmony right now?
Probably not.
Yeah, that's fine. Then let's make some quick characters. Yeah, so you guys can make some New Harmony people who are gonna join Josh or hinder him as Episkiadzos tries to get what I have titled the Aris. The Aris. I think it's pronounced Aris. It's a particular weird word for like upholstery. So the Aris is like this weird pseudo-mystical arcane tapestry upholstery diagram thing that you've gotten wind of, Episkiadzos. And to get it, you need to sacrifice someone in an arcane ritual. And we'll get to what that sacrifice might look like soon, but we'll go ahead and make quick characters and then gear up everybody and do this thing. So I'm going to drag everybody to the character playbooks. And if you guys want to pay attention to the middle two quick characters on the far right. And I'm just going to, let's say, Connor, you take the one on middle left, and Carly, you do middle right. So right over here.
Yeah, you should show me where I am. You should ping me.
Yeah, I just did. So those two middle quick characters.
I really like the way you've got this laid out, Caleb.
Thank you. It took me a long time. But yeah, it's helpful for what we're trying to do. So Do you not know where it is still? Far right of the map we're on right now.
This one?
Yep. You can use that one. And then Connor, you use this one.
Oh, it just cannot read anything on here. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, never mind.
Let's
Here
zoom
it
in, yeah.
Get it? Zoom in.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So first, what you're going to do is you're going to choose stats. So just decide what you want to be good at in terms of stat stuff. So you're a member of the New Harmony of some sort. They serve the Eldritch powers. But you could always be someone who is trying to break away from the Eldritch powers. You could be, right? Like there's all sorts of ways that you could take that. But first, just go ahead and choose your stats. And then I'll look up real quick and let's see. I know you get a stat bonus for being in the New Harmony.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. And I pick one of those 4 roll moves.
Yeah. So New Harmony gets... Oh, they all get an inheritance move. They don't get a new bonus. They all get an extra move. Yeah, so no stat bonus for the...
Okay.
For this. So just split +1, 0, 0, -1 among your stats.
Josh, what is your character about?
Super lore, if I remember correctly, right?
Episkiadzos is yes, primarily lore.
He has 0 force, 3 lore, -2 steel, and 0 sway.
Okay.
Though I think you get to always roll sway with advantage right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what the star is. It's advantage.
Yep.
Couldn't remember what the point of the star was, but now I remember.
So go ahead and choose your stats and put them in the text. The text boxes up on the top of the quick character sheet. And if you need any help with anything, let me know. So you have a +1, a 0, a 0, and a -1 to put between those 4 stats. Force is fighting stuff. Lore is knowing stuff. Steel is surviving in the apocalypse. Sway is persuading people of stuff.
I had forgotten how much I
text
like.
boxes are so frustrating to work with.
What is?
The text boxes, they're so
Oh, for
big,
sure.
I can't grab it.
Uh-huh.
Just keeps making new ones.
You got to be in text mode to edit the text, and then you got to go back to select move
Yeah.
in order to move the text
But
around.
It's so tiny, and now it's.
I can if you guys are having trouble, I can just do it for you. It's pretty easy for me. Yeah. What are you guys choosing for stuff, and I'll just put it in there.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, just let me know, and I'll put it in there for you. Because I can just copy paste from the other stuff that I've.
And I should be good. It might not look pretty, but I should be able to do it.
Fill it out the way Jared filled his out.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do?
With crayon.
How do I?
What?
I can't touch those.
I know you can't. Yeah. Just tell me where to put them.
Okay. What is the New Harmony like?
New Harmony. Well, here, let me read the text blurb that I wrote up for them for the website, which I was super happy with. I've been writing some really cool esoteric stuff with all these. Let me find it. There are those who know the secrets of the darkness, of the sweet music that sings from the void. And those ones who stride into oblivion itself are those who understand that the shadowing was more than just a physical calamity. For most, the fall of civilization was an apocalypse, a loss of that which was wonderful. For those of the New Harmony, the shadowing was instead a beautiful metamorphosis, a casting off of the pitiful shell of the before, and the genesis of a new world entirely. The Tannerin, eldritch beings of both horror and wonder, have begun to seep into the cracks in the world's soul that were created during the shadowing. There are those who would oppose these creatures and the gifts they bring, the music they sing. The new harmony seeks to use them. Eldritch servants have a power greater than comprehension. These individuals consider themselves artists of the highest caliber, painting with the color of night itself, singing with the voices of the gods, dancing with the lanterns of madness meant to illuminate the world anew with the promise of the void. The new harmony watches. I thought you might like that, Josh.
That's so good.
And then I chose a quote from a song for each of these factions, and the one I chose was, "Come, raise your lantern to the sky. Can we illuminate this night? We'll dance like heathens round our flame. While the world sleeps, we are awake. Lanterns rise against."
Oh yeah, I listened to that song today in prep for this. And by prep for this, I didn't really do anything in preparation. I just was listening to the music.
And also technically the line that I could have also put there, is where it says, "Hell is not where we're going. Hell is where we've been."
Mm-hmm.
But also hell is where they're going.
Okay, Caleb, I'll do +1 to steal.
Okay. So you tried, did you?
I tried. I tried very hard. -1 to lore, and then +0 for both force and sway.
Okay. Carl, so what are you doing?
I'm filling it out with the paintbrush tool. But I don't know what else I need to do other than name.
The next thing on the list after stats is your relationship to the family's main character. Right, so some of the examples it gives is sibling, child, cousin, aunt, rival, protege, or peer. In some way, you know Episkiatzos.
What would be your family's code of honor or code of, or rules or whatever?
Say that again.
So I want to be a rebel, and it says when you break your family's code, roll +steal. On a hit, they have higher priorities than punishing you, and a 10+, get fleeting advantage and you socialize with their rivals or enemies.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Episkiatzos, what is the family's code? What would be various things that the family considers sacred?
Well, the first rule about Fight Club.
And if you can't think of something interesting, I can switch up roll moves too.
No, I don't have anything specifically there's not a code per se. It's more of a, you listen to those above you.
Yeah, follow the monstrous servants.
Yeah, it's follow those above you. And
you're playing NASA, Carly?
No, there's an I in there.
I know.
NASA. We going to the moon, are we?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, they just announced the next the first manned spaceflight to launch from the States since the end of the shuttle program, and it's set for end of next month, and I am excited.
Nice.
It's going to be SpaceX's Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon, and that's a big deal.
Oh, hey, I know how to make this interesting. Josh, can I be your child?
Oh my gosh.
Your insubordinate child.
Wow.
Yes, we'll go with that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically listen to the. I'm trying to think of how to. I'm like all of a sudden now trying to define a hierarchy and names and casts and stuff, on the fly. Basically, this is a sort of
I mean,
tiered
you could also just say like
caste system of
we
sorts.
we could talk about that like as we go, right? Like if
Sure.
be like, hey, would this be a breaking of the family's code, right? Just like have that.
Yeah, that actually might be a little easier to work with.
Yeah.
Also, is the piano coming through on my mic? Any
Mm-mm.
way? Good. Because it's pretty loud where I'm at, so I can't tell.
Carly, I'm copying all of the
Okay.
stuff up on the one above it.
For me, I bet you can hear my every click.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yup.
Oh, you're a rival?
Yep.
Carly? Okay.
I don't know what that means right now, but it sounded more interesting than any of the other things.
Okay. Each of you also get to choose an inherited move from the family's list of inheritance moves. So I'm going to read these off, and you each get to choose one of these. Night Stalker, you can see perfectly and move silently in the utmost darkness, but you must become a carrion eater.
What?
Yep.
Oh my
Can you say that again for me?
Welcome to the new harmony.
Night Stalkers, you can see perfectly and move silently in the utmost darkness, but you become a carrion eater.
What does that even? What is a carrion
eat
eater?
dead things.
I don't just want to do that.
Okay.
Scaly
But not
Dan-
just dead things, found dead things.
Yeah. Scaly Dancer, you can hypnotize us others with your swaying motions, but you are bound to always keep a treasure of the next world safe. Dream Lurker, you can visit other people's dreams, but you must embrace an addiction to a forbidden drug of your choice.
Yes.
You want that one?
Yes.
Okay. Let me write it there for you. Dream Lurker. You can visit other people's dreams, but you must embrace an addiction to a forbidden drug of your choice. What is that forbidden drug?
Dude, heck if I know. What kind of drugs exist in this universe? You just said I could be eating dead things.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say memories are a kind
Memories
of
are one of the one of
Yeah.
the rather thematic drugs.
All right, yeah. I mean, might as well.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. I mean, you go into people's dreams and you also are addicted to memories.
Yeah. And then the other two options are Deep Dweller. You can live and travel without complaint in a particular type of hostile land, sea, void, radiation, etc. But you have a compulsion to lure others there, despite their inability to survive.
Oh boy.
What?
I know. And then the last one is Storm Rider, which is arguably the least weird of all of these.
Sounds the coolest.
When you commune with a place of power, its energy bursts free and does roughly what you wanted, but there are always unintended side effects decided by the GM.
Read that one again.
I love this family playbook.
I know, right? When you commune with a place of power, its energy bursts free and does roughly what you wanted, but there are always unintended side effects decided by the GM.
First one was Night Stalker, right?
Yep. You need to do Night Stalkers?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. All right. I'll write that in your sheet.
Wow, I was surprised how neat I was able to write that.
Harley,
What?
you chose the rival role, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is your expectation then that you... Sorry.
She's also an outsider.
Also an outsider. Okay.
I have strange abilities.
So not part of the family. Or what's... Because strange abilities is par for the course
Yeah.
for the leadership
Right.
faction, the monstrous servants. So I guess my question is she also a monstrous servant?
I mean, that would be cool.
Otherwise, Episkiadzos would
that.
probably consider her to be probably wouldn't consider her to be a specific rival. He would not think them peers, because he's stuck up that way.
Yeah, I guess basically he's asking, are you higher up on the hierarchy here?
I don't know.
Because I like the idea of
I
having
feel like
someone
that
else that
puts me in a very big talking role, which I'm not not great with.
But you should do it anyway.
No.
Carly, you'll be so good.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But see, you gotta start somewhere.
Mhm. Carly, you chose Night Stalkers. You're gonna have to eat carrion. You're gonna be a little outside your comfort zone no matter what here.
What does she want to play?
Well, basically,
know.
Josh was just saying, like, if she was a rival of his, then she would have to be kind of in, like, higher up in the hierarchy of the New Harmony, because he is.
You don't want to be higher up?
No.
Why not?
Because it means I have to talk more. Laugh at me.
I'm not laughing at you in like an insulting way. It's just laughing.
Oh, Carly, your outsider move means you pick a stat. You can take one harm to roll it with advantage.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to choose?
Probably. I'll do steel.
Okay. Yeah. So Connor, you're the child of Episkazos.
Yeah.
What's your name? Greek names.
Give me some Greek names.
Yeah. Please tell me the first one that came to your mind was Orcanthus.
No.
Antarios?
No.
You should be Adnus. Means you're constantly looking at yourself in the mirror.
Or you're a.
No, that's
AI
Narcissus.
non-AI.
Sorry, that's Narcissus.
Narcissus?
Yeah, Narcissus.
Actually, would it be...
I have no clue, honestly, however you pronounce.
What's that?
We're arguing about the Greek pronunciation of Narcissus now. What's your name?
Vaio Cosmo.
How do you spell that?
I got it. Oh, heck and heck.
So, Narcissus in Greek is Narcissos.
Oh, okay. It's Old World in Greek.
Spell it.
I can't. It's in Greek.
Say it again, then.
Can you copy paste it?
I
can pronounce it for you if
would,
you copy
but
paste
oh
it.
goodness gracious. I would, but I don't know where to copy and paste it because
Put it in
Caleb
chat.
is. Oh, there you go.
Tell me the English letters to write, Josh.
Hang on. Paleokosmo. Paliokosmo. Paleokosmo. 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 Cosmo. The accents are weird.
Polio for short.
Yeah.
So it is two words in the Greek here, but I like the concatenation. If Connor's okay with that.
You like the what?
Concatenation.
As in, like, one word.
Sticking
yeah,
them
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Though actually, if it was proper concatenation, it'd be a space anyway, because one of the other would contain a space. Because concatenation is merely the act of taking two strings and making a longer string out of the two of them. So, sorry.
Okay, so last thing we have to do here is let's do gear for everybody. Let's gear up. So everyone, including Josh, including Episkiadzos, gets to first gain a spell to evoke hostile grounds of their choice in the current scene at the cost of 1 harm. So you basically have a hostile grounds spell. You can make things into a wasteland.
What?
Basically, you can make the terrain around you dangerous.
Josh can, or we all can?
All of you can.
Oh my
What?
Welcome to the new harmony.
Oh, all right. How does this work?
Who knows? We're gonna find out.
That's what we get to discover as we play these characters. Because it doesn't
Okay, fair
have to
enough.
work the same for each one of us.
Okay. So I think we might have already put that on your sheet. Josh. No. Okay. Yes. No. You also have a spell to evoke hostile grounds. You listed basically all the stuff that you can get already. But you can technically choose not to have any of these things if you want to. So how do you fight? Words of madness and power. I assume everybody wants to have that.
Oh yes.
Are there other options?
Not for weapons, no.
Okay.
How are you defended? You're sustained by the void. So
What?
basically, it basically means you inherently can just survive in like a vacuum and other weird environments. And also you can travel by void walkers. What are void walkers? We still don't know.
Yeah, we haven't clearly defined them. I'm thinking they're like imagine it is slightly draconic in form, but it's pouring shadow like mist. Or like it's a black mist in a slightly draconic form. And you can literally ride it like a horse. Except that it pours mist. And it's, accompanying it
like,
is the
mix of-
sense of doom.
I'm imagining like the mix of a Nazgul and a Mistwraith.
Maybe. Though maybe less of the random body part collection
Right.
and more of the like shape formed from mist pouring smoke
Mm-hmm.
kind of idea. And I'm for the life of me not putting a name on the image that I have in my head of something that it's from.
So, just like to point out, with sustained by the void and void walker, you can literally all survive in space and travel in
What?
space.
You can fly our
Why?
shadow dragons through space.
You can fly your shadow dragons through space.
What in the world?
Yep. Okay, so now that we have, let's see, is there any other things that we need to do to zoom in here? Take a look. All right, so let's do the zoom in stuff as it says here. So say where you are on the map. Where you guys are on the map? Where are you? Where is this gonna take place? Right. So the main thing they're there to do is Episkiadzos is going to do a ritual and sacrifice to get the Aris. Where? Because the new harmony is dispersed, so they could just be anywhere. They don't really have a specific place they hang out.
Right.
Are we in the urban hellhole for the poor and shunned?
Well, yeah, because that came off of my playbook, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the idea of setting up in a back alley in an urban hellhole.
Okay. One thing we need
Or
to do then Mhm.
dilapidated basement, maybe.
Yeah. That makes sense. Real quick, I'm gonna name the urban hellhole for the poor and shunned because we haven't named it yet. Let's see. What is a good name for this place? Come on, name generators, don't fail me now. It's gonna be named Kelith.
Is that Hebrew or Hebraic?
It's a Hebraic amalgamation of several things. Yeah.
Cool.
So these.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the city of Kelith. Not to be confused with Killith.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why you laughed. All right, so zooming in from there. Where are story moves? There we go. The main characters present say what they are there to do. Episkiatzos, what are you there to do?
Episkiadzos is present. So he's got the start of a ritual of great power, but not the end of it. Specifically, he wants to acquire this tapestry. Oh, but there's a vault built to preserve art for all eternity, isn't there?
There is indeed. You could have traveled there.
Actually, it might make more sense to be there.
Okay. What is the name of this? Someone. This is Connor's thing that he placed on the map. But anyone who has a name for it, what is it called?
Which one did I place? Which of the ones?
The vault built to preserve art for all eternity.
Yes.
What is it called, Connor? What do the people call it? First thing that just came to my mind, the Endless Echo.
Sure.
I don't know why, but
no, that's the name of the other thing.
The what?
The Library of Fractal Architecture?
No, you're right. That's the name of the screens that still replay the world's last moments.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the Endless Echo.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so what is the name of the vault?
I don't know.
Anyone have an idea?
The Millennium Louvre.
I like it, yeah.
The Millennium Louvre. I'm going to butcher the spelling of that.
Louvre.
What is it?
Louvre.
Louerv, yeah.
VRE.
VRE, yeah. Yeah.
Victor Romeo Echo. Although it does kind of break the theming we've been going with the languages and stuff.
Oh, that's true.
Right, because it's like all of a sudden it's very French.
Yeah. Let's see. Middle Eastern museum name. What do they call those sorts of things? What is?
You could call it Millennium Crypt.
Ooh.
Crypt is like or crypta in Latin is vault, crypt, grotto, covered gallery.
Let's call it the Crypt of 1,000 Years.
There you go.
That's esoteric and cool.
Crypto Millenniumanum. Of years, thousand.
Okay, so what are you there to do? Trying to figure out linguistics in his head right now.
I mean, I know I am there to re-invoke like desire for the old world. Is my thing with my character is basically the new harmony like has not only loved but like profited so much from the
This
new world
Yeah.
that they're forgetting that this is like not how it used to be. Like this isn't how it was supposed to be.
Yeah. Okay.
I really like that, Connor.
Yeah.
And now my middle school Latin has completely left me. I was really trying to properly decline my anum, but it I can't even remember the names of the cases anymore, and I'm sad.
So what are you there to do, Episkadzos?
I mean, Episkadzos is there to break in and retrieve a suitable relic for the completion of his ritual of great power.
Okay. So one of the things that was listed though, so let me look at this again just to double check what the actual wording of this is. Your like agent move or whatever basically says you need a tapestry with impossible geometry, blah, 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 to give his people a symbol for hope and direction. Someone he loves and respects is his obstacle. They must be sacrificed, right? That's the direct like seed of this. Who are you pointing to? Who are you trying to point to?
Your layout is different
Yeah.
from mine. I'm pointing to Connor.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Yeah. So you're gonna sacrifice your own child on the altar of the new world. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, okay. That's fine, I guess.
This is fine, he says as the world burns around him.
Perfect. Yeah.
So let me refine this a bit then, because
yeah, because the ritual, the start of the ritual that you have is not necessarily the same ritual as this is, because you basically know what you need to do. You need to sacrifice. Maybe you don't know it right now, but we'll quickly discover that is the way to get this thing.
One must.
Well, maybe this is just where the RS is. It's in this vault.
That was my initial thought. Yeah, it was just first brush. Simple enough. It's in this vault.
And then you'll have to figure out how to actually acquire it once you realize that it's like encased in arcane glass and all that stuff. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Oh, but the symbolism though of having to sacrifice one's optimistic son as a reminder that one must let go of optimistic views of the past if we are to move into this great and glorious future.
Awesome.
This is terrifyingly disturbing.
Welcome to the new harmony.
I feel like that's just the quote.
Let me know.
That's their slogan.
Let me know when you want me to back off the gas a little. All right.
No, it's okay. No problem at all.
Carly, how do you pronounce your character's name?
Nasia.
Nasia. Okay. Why is Nasia there?
I have no idea.
Like you're a rival. Are you trying to get it yourself? Are you trying to basically like backstab Episkadzos in some way during the process of this? So you are the one who comes back to your family with the RS? Are you trying to stop him from getting it at all? Because you're an outsider and you're his rival. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do.
Well, what's the pretense at least for why you're there? Because you can figure out whatever your actual motivations are later, as we're playing. But like, why are you on this expedition, right, with Episkadzos?
I don't know. Maybe she's just curious.
Did you follow me in hopes of being able to take it from me once I've gotten it in my hands?
I don't think so.
That would be a Night Stalker. That would be a Night Stalker-y thing to do.
I mean, the Night Stalker thing to do would be to wait till you're dead and eat you.
I mean that too. They're not mutually exclusive.
But there's also the part about being sneaky, I think is the point that he's making.
Mm-hmm.
You can see perfectly and move silently in the utmost darkness.
Oh. I don't know.
Go with the typical, well,
Not
we needed a burglar.
creative character.
Did you say you're not a creative character?
I said I'm not in a creative character mood.
Oh, okay.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I thought you were referred to yourself as a character. I was very
No.
confused. What were you just saying, Josh?
Oh, I'm just saying we could go with the very typical fantasy trope of, well, we needed a burglar.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
If you wanted to be the Bilbo Baggins on this trip.
What do you think?
No. I'm thinking, like, maybe she's just legit following them from a distance and they don't know. She's just curious, like, as to what they're doing or why they're here.
Okay, so you're like someone who used to be part of the New Harmony is now outside of it, and then
Yeah.
you've been skulking around eating carrion, and then you find you see these people. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Sounds good.
That's got some interesting implications, though. If someone with similar status to Episkiadzos could leave the New Harmony
Mm-hmm.
and not just immediately die.
I mean,
Yeah.
who says I'm of similar status? Is there?
That's true. We could throw that piece out. Yeah, you might have gotten close to, but not crossed the line into monstrous servant level of commitment.
You're
yet.
obviously weird because you're
Yes.
carrion eater and stuff, but
Twisted bloodline, yeah,
yeah, exactly.
but not that far.
Yeah,
Sure,
monster
sure,
servant. Yeah.
that works.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Well, you already got gear. All right, let's do this then. Let's take a quick break, and kind of think through what I want to think through a little bit of what the next stuff is going to look like, and we'll come back and we will investigate the Crypt of 1,000 Years when we return on the Hellbreaker Sequence. Stick around. We got more RPG coming your way right after this break.